everyone, welcome to the next part of this planner page from Johanna Basford's weekly planner. Now we have done the elephant in the first video and the red part of the balloons. I'm just actually going to just show you in case you haven't seen the earlier videos. We're trying to replicate this sort of look. The gold is what's going to really bring it together with the balloons, so I think we'll, you know, they look a little bit odd at the minute, but they'll come together. So we're using our Polychromos pencils. If you haven't done any of the other two videos, this will work independently of those to some extent, but there'll be some work that you would have needed to do the red bit first, so you might be worth doing part 2 before part 3. But it sort of makes sense, doesn't it? We're going to start with our darkest colour for our gold. I'm just sharpening it. I'm just going to find my brush. There we go. So we have the burnt umber. It's the same dark brown we used for the gold on the elephant, so we're trying to keep it the same. I'm just going to work through all the balloons and do all of this colour. This one's going to take the longest while I sort of plan, and then the others will be a lot easier. So around the edge we have our darkest part, and then we start to, let's fade it out a little bit. I'm not going to fade it out as much as I did the red into such a big area as I did the red, because I just do my gold a little bit differently. And here, dark here, and then fading there. Here, it's hard to know how near the edge of the balloon we are. Probably might want just a tad. Let's put a little bit there. I'm going to work through all the balloons with each colour this time. It's a bit different to how I did the red. So here, and then down from the top, because the top, as I said, can't speak. As I said in the last video, the edges of the balloon are the darkest part. This is the lightest bit. So we want to get this darker bit down near the edges. We can always come back and darken it if it doesn't quite look right. Now I'm going to ignore these lines here and just colour this area as if it's one big bit. Okay, a little bit in there. Maybe just a tad there, not too much. Now this bit will be quite dark, but I'll take that up a bit more. There we go. I am so hungry. I'm always talking about being hungry when I'm recording. I guess it stops me from eating. It's like 11:10. Feels a long time since breakfast. I did eat breakfast quite early today. Yeah. I think it's partly because yesterday I didn't eat as normal because I was out. We had a meal out at lunchtime, a cooked meal. I normally have a cooked meal in the evening, and then a light evening tea. So I think I was hungry when I went to bed, but I don't like snacking in the evening. Gives me reflux, which is lovely. Shouldn't really do those actually. So I didn't eat anything, and I was hungry this morning. I did have a good breakfast, but my normal oats and fruit and things, but anyway, I shall have a big lunch. Not sure what yet. I've got a bag of crisps in the cupboard. Might put those with my lunch. Sorry, I'm scratching my head because that one scares me, so I'm going to come and do this one. I'm not really telling you what I'm doing. I think you can hopefully see where I'm putting colour down and that I'm fading from the edges inwards. So I think it's fairly straightforward, really. Now this one, yeah, as I say, it's, well, we know the edge is darker, so we can go all around the edge and just bring the colour in. It's just the pattern is in the wrong place compared to the others. And because I did it wrong last time, I'm scared of doing it wrong again. I'm not scared, but I don't want to do it wrong. So this is the lightest bit. So I want a bit coming in from here. And down here, let's do this bit because it's got the edge there, which will be dark. A bit there and there. I think I might leave it like that. This one's a bit easier. Just take it to there. I'm going to leave those dots and I'm going to do them in the green gold, or else they're not going to look gold. So I didn't with those. Maybe I'll put just a little bit in a few of them. Just a tiny tad. A token amount. This one. Now you can do this as dark as you wish, and the sort of different shades that you use will determine the sort of shade of gold that you have. So you don't have to use this particular brown, you can use any brown. Some people even use black to start with, which I think is a little bit harsh, but you know, it just creates a different look. So it's sort of up to you really, what colour combination you use. There are lots of gold combinations that different people use. I think that bit's too near the middle. So yeah, it's up to you really. This bottom bit's easiest. And with different pencil sets as well, you have a different mix of colours, so that can influence you too. Thinking down from the top. So yeah, I think it's interesting that you can create different colours. Right, I'm going to move on to our raw umber now. And this should be quicker and easier than that, which actually didn't take too long because the red helped us a lot. So we're just starting to bring it all in towards the middle, really. Not too far, you want to leave some space for some your green gold and your yellow. But the nearer you are to this part of the balloon, the less of this you'll want. These bits down here will be a bit darker. Hopefully we'll end up with something looking nice and gold. You'll know, if you've looked at the video thumbnail, you would have seen what it looks like. I haven't got that advantage of time travel. It's quite weird. It's really weird actually thinking that, you know, you're watching this knowing whether it worked and I've got no idea. It's messing with my head. I'm going to think about something else. I'm actually thinking about whether to buy a new mattress. Our mattress topper has been recalled, meaning, you know, it was felt to be a fire hazard, so we're going to send it back for a refund. And we really need it to make the bed, for me, bearable to sleep on, so it's uncomfortable again now. My husband doesn't notice so much that the bed's uncomfortable, but I'm wondering whether a new mattress might be a good idea. But I don't know. Really, we spent so much money on this mattress and we were told it was going to be so good and it was guaranteed for life, but the guarantee doesn't cover the fact that it's uncomfortable. Apparently because I chose the wrong one, it's going to be uncomfortable because it's too hard. So that's a bit annoying. And yeah, it's really tricky. So I'm thinking about it, and I shall have to talk to husband about it probably soonish, but he's a bit busy at the minute. Well, I didn't see much from yesterday because we were out, although I could have talked to him in the car because he picked me up. But I don't know, we were talking about other things. And the boys were in the car and they were tired. Anyway, we'll see. I'm doing a bit more down here because we're nearer the bottom, so it'll be lighter in there. Hopefully you can see it coming together. It's beginning to look shiny and gold-ish. So I think sometimes with gold you just have to be a bit daring. It can be a bit hard to do that, especially on your favourite page, which is what I'm doing. Now, green gold. It's one of my favourite colours, and there's one in the what are they called? Castle Arts as well, which is really similar. But of course you can't buy those open stock. So unless you've got, it only comes in the 120 set, which is a little irritating. I'm leaving quite small gaps here, but it doesn't matter. A bit more here. It'll all work out when we use our last colour. Not leaving a gap there at all. Now this is gold is going to look a bit darker than the gold on my original picture, but I don't mind at all. The red's a bit darker as well, so it should all work, tie up nicely, so that's really good. Oh, itchy head today. Sure I haven't got nits. I think I've caught them once or twice off my children, but I never had them as a child. But my mum used to use a shampoo in my hair which was supposed to stop them coming. But these days they tell you not to do that because they get resistant to it. But can't say I'm that keen on putting pesticide. I was never that keen on putting pesticides on my children's hair anyway. We used to comb them out because they had reasonably short hair. It was easier, I'm sure, if you've got a girl with long hair or a boy with long hair, it'd be quite difficult to do. Thinking this is going to be our palest bit here. Anyway, yeah, we used to comb it, but my one poor son used to suffer a bit with psoriasis, so it made him upset. It was really painful. Fortunately, they don't get them anymore. Didn't really get them. I don't think they got them in secondary school very much. Very much so in primary school. And they gave them to their cousins once. They used to catch them off one set of cousins and then give them to a different set of cousins. Share and share alike. But there we go. And their dad used to catch them more than me. No, but his were really easy to get out. It's really short hair. But I think it was, I just read we haven't done those dots, that blonde hair apparently attracts them more. I really have no idea why. And my son, who was blonde, used to get them more. So these I'm just going to do in this colour completely. So that was quite interesting. Now I've started a second copy of Worlds of Wonder, And I'm going to have to do this page in a completely different way in that book. I think I'm going to do on the same again. So that's going to be interesting. I wonder what I'm going to do. Whether I do the balloons in a bit of an easier way for myself and just sort of not do them metallic. I don't know. Okay, last colour, Naples yellow. Now we've got small gaps, shine areas, and we're going to want to preserve those. But I'm going to go over the whole thing in this, and it helps to fill in the little gaps, make it look lighter and brighter. But when it comes to the gap here, I'm going to put a bit there, but leave a tiny shiny bit there. And here, this shine doesn't line up with that shine, never mind. And just bring that in a tad and go over those. So that one is now finished, and hopefully it looks sort of suitably shiny. So here we'll just leave a little bit there and there, and colour in the rest. Not sure that would be white there, it's too high up our balloon. I find this just helps to sort of blend it all together a bit as well. I'll put a bit down there and leave a little white area there. This wouldn't have a white bit, so we'll just colour it over in the yellow. I'm going quite fast here, you might want to take your time a little bit, you don't have to rush. I'm enjoying myself getting through it fast, it's fun. I'm being driven by hunger. This one. I don't think there'd be any white in that bit. To do these circles, they're a bit red, but I think they'll be fine. The white's going to be around there. Probably just leave the bit there. Oh, moving the book around. It's okay. Hear a loud noise from next door. I think it's my neighbour. It's fine. Don't mind. I quite like hearing neighbours' noises, to be honest. I mean, it would be irritating if it was like really loud noisy or something like that, but it isn't. He's pretty quiet, and if I'm here on my own, it's quite reassuring to hear someone there. Didn't really leave white there because that's the middle, so I might leave a bit on this one just in there. And same, I might leave a bit here on this one. Just go into that white space just a little bit. Mainly just going over the top of what's there and done already. Don't want that white space, I'll colour over that one. Gosh, we're on our last one. Colouring across that one because it's too high up for a white space. This one can have a white space. Not sure about this bit. Let's just do this bottom bit and edges first, I think. Yeah, maybe it can have a bit of white right at the top of that point. There we go. Okay, now I want to put some shadows in where the balloons are overlapping each other. I'm going to use my dark sepia for that. And I'm going to just sort of go around the edges here. Now I'm going to use the same amount of shadow all the way around the edge and do it around the edge of all of them. Sorry, I'm concentrating and not talking. All the way around. Make sure you take your shadow right up to the black line of the balloon that you're putting it against. So it looks a bit odd. I probably am leaving tiny gaps that I can't see, but doing my best. Now I find this just makes them look a bit more separated. Like one's in front of the other, rather than just being all a big whole flat bunch. Okay, now we're going to do some clouds. I've got a, let's come out so you can see the whole page to start with. I'm just going to try and erase this mark here on my page, which is just a discoloration. I don't know where it's come from. No, it's a little bit faded now. Okay, so I have a cloud stencil that I'm going to use, if I can find where I put it. Sorry, bear with me. Here we go, here it is. And I think I'm going to do, now it's quite hard to decide what colour clouds to do because we've got such a limited colour palette. Now I'm actually going to do them in grey because the elephant's grey, and I think it would just work better than introducing a blue. A pink or a yellow I think would just be a little bit strange. So I'm just going to find a cotton pad. Yeah, it is clean, it's just stained. And some grey pastel. These are my Mungio pastels that I always use. Well, I say always. Ooh. I have this silver pan pastel. I wonder whether to use that. Let's use that. So you could use a grey soft pastel, but let's try using silver. That'll be fun. So the pan pastels are a little bit different, but effectively I use them in the same way. So we'll put down our template and I just rub it onto the cloth like that. That's quite thick, it's probably a bit too much. And then just put it onto the page in exactly the same way. It's very pale. I'm not sure that it really shows up. And put a bit on this side. I think it's okay that it's quite pale, as I wasn't really sure about doing a background at all, to be honest. So I think you might only really see it when the page is tipped up to the light. Let's put a bit that way. So what I try and do with my stencil is just tip it in different directions so you get bits of cloud in different places. And then I put my thickest layer of pastel against the stencil, and then just sort of fade it up a bit into the space above. And just try and leave an evenish space between them, even though that isn't what would happen. A little bit down here. Maybe a bit right at the bottom. Now I'm going to brush it off, and I don't even know. I can see it a little bit. Turn it to the light. Yeah, I can see some shine there. Oh, I didn't brush that side off very well. I can see a little bit of shine there. You can see it a bit at the bottom. Right, so you might want that to be a bit more visible. You could use your use a darker grey normal soft pastel. But that's that bit. Now I want to do some white, whoops, on the balloons. This is quite daring. I'm a bit scared. I'm going to use my Posca for this. I need to lean on something so I don't spread pastel everywhere. Hang on a minute. I've got a piece of paper on my windowsill. Oh, it's lovely and warm, the sun shining on there. Right, so I'm going to lean on with some paper. Let's come in a little closer so you can see. So I'm going to put a shine on the edge of the balloon. Now there are a lot, you need to follow the edge of the balloon like that, the shape, and I'm just going to put in a thickish bit like that. Take it thin, like that. Okay, and then this one, the same. You could just leave it as a line, but I find if you do it like this, it just, I don't know, it seems to show up a bit more. I'm just doing them all the same, I think. So follow the curve and then just make a little shape. And the same on this one. And I think it would all be on the same side of the balloon because the light would hit them all from the same place. That one's a bit further in. I don't think that matters. I haven't filled that in completely. There we go. All that one. I'm not going to do anything on that one that's at the back. It's too far away and it's underneath. It just wouldn't, I don't think it would get any light. I'm getting more confident as I go. Hopefully that's okay. And this one last. There we are. Now if we come out, hopefully you can see the full effect. There we go. So there is the end. Oh, we've just done just almost half an hour on that one. So yeah, 3 videos. I hope that was okay for you. I had a lot of fun. I'm pleased with how it's come out, which is always good. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment, etc. Let me know if you're colouring along, if you have, what you think, how you got on, that sort of thing. And you can share your versions of the page with me on Facebook, on my Facebook page. You can't share it, you can't post yourself, but you can put it in the comments, or you can tag me on Instagram. I usually can find it. Sometimes I struggle, but usually it comes up in my notifications, so that's another way to show me. It's always nice to see. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a really super day and happy colouring.